On the news tonight, Electoral Act Amendment, Reps proposes inclusion of both physical and electronic for serving election petition. FRSC call Marshal Shehu Mohammed attributes crashes on Nigerian roads to poor understanding of driving regulations. Hello and welcome to the news at 7 on Nta Ijebu Ode. I am Ifeoluwa Ashalu. Thank you for joining us this evening. Nigeria's electoral future again came to the fore as the House of Representatives considered two bills seeking to amend the Electoral Act 2026 and passed them. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Ukwo reports that the bills are to address issues concerning pre-election matters and modes of service of election petition. The report.
Ayes have it.
Members of the House of Representatives embarked on a swift intervention to remedy loopholes in the 2026 Electoral Act. The proposed amendment is a bold attempt to clearly define jurisdiction in pre-election matters, an issue that has over the years generated legal uncertainty and conflicting interpretations in the courts, and to also include electronic means for serving of petitions.
To amend 29(8) to mandate candidates to provide both physical and electronic contact details, email, phone number, etc., etc.
You can be sent a SMS message. It can find itself somewhere where you have abandoned messages or numbers that you don't have in your phone. Cannot send messages to you.
If they give you option, you can tick the method of communication that you want INEC to relate with you or the processes to be given to you. You can choose the manual service. You could choose the email.
Members passed the bill that seeks to increase the number of judges in High Court of the FCT. The House considered for second reading a bill seeking to establish a 50-year national economic plan, reflecting the call for continuity and consistency in Nigeria's economic policy, as canvassed by Representative Amobi Oga.
By anchoring economic decisions within a long-term framework, Nigeria can better withstand external shocks and maintain steady progress.
It's not talking really about the annual budget. It is not going to be part of what the president brings to parliament to present. It is to establish an institutional framework and structure that will plan for the future and lay core pillars.
Representative Abdulsamad Dasuki harped on the need to operationalize and complete the National Automotive Development Projects in Sokoto State.
The House worried that the non-utilization of this project may deteriorate the infrastructure, thereby resulting in loss of economic value and erode public confidence in government initiatives.
Representatives Hassan Kaikaku, Yobe State, defected from PDP to APC, while Bello Ambarura, Sokoto States, moved from APC to ADC. The House has adjourned plenary to Tuesday, the 5th of May, 2026. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Ukwo, NTA News.
We apologize for the glitch. Women across the 36 states and the federal capital converge at the National Assembly appealing to the lawmakers of the immediate passage of the Special Seat Bill for Women. President of the National Council of Women Societies and that of the League of Women Voters led in a peaceful protest to push for the passage. National Assembly correspondent Issa Mohammed has more.
Great Nigerian women! What do you want? The special seat!
The women chanting solidarity songs appealing to the leadership of the National Assembly to support the position of Nigerian women on passage of the Special Seats Bill. The movement says the women are at the National Assembly to also commit relevant documents as passage of the bill and presidential assent will give hope in increasing women inclusion and participation in active politics.
We are lobbying, but we are calling a cranial call that please let them pass this bill because it is time. Other countries are far above. We are behind, maybe second to the last in the entire world on representation of women.
Nigerian women constitute approximately half of the nation's population, and we play a critical role in the social, economic, and political development of our communities and our nation, Nigeria.
The women also pledged their support to the APC-led administration because of its gender-friendly, as well as the ongoing economic reforms by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially in the appointment of more women into key political offices. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
The All Progressive Congress APC has formally flagged off the re-election campaign of the Ekiti State Governor, Biodun Oyebanji, ahead of the June 20, 2026 governorship election. Olukemi Sonny reports that the rally held at Parapo Square in Ado-Ekiti attracted dignitaries from far and wide. The report.
The pavilion was filled with party supporters from across the state, federal and state lawmakers, as well as APC stakeholders from across the country. The high-profile event drew an array of political heavyweights, including Imo State Governor, Kogi State Governor, Edo State Governor, the Senate leader, and the Kaduna State Governor, who chaired the APC National Campaign Council.
My dear people of Ekiti, this election is not about experimentation. It is about consolidation. It is about building on a solid foundation and moving forward with confidence. Everybody here, take a bow.
We are convinced that in the last 3.5 years, in Ekiti State, we have had a round peg in a round hole.
Former governors of the state who attended the event described the rally as a strategic step toward electoral victory, revealing that the party had set an ambitious target of securing at least 500,000 votes for the governor. They said the gathering reflected widespread confidence in Oyebanji's leadership. Governor Biodun Oyebanji expressed gratitude to the party leaders and supporters, particularly President Bola Tinubu, whom he described as deeply supportive of Ekiti State. He called on the residents to demonstrate their love for him by turning out in large number on June 20 to secure votes for the APC.
And I know that the support of God and the support of my brother's governor will cross that man.
The team had earlier paid homage to the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti, Oba Rufus Adeyemo Adejugbe, for his royal blessings. In Ado-Ekiti, Olukemi Sonny, NTA News.
The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has called for the establishment of a unified information system for ECOWAS member states. In a statement, the Special Advisor on Media to the Minister, Babatunde Alao, says the minister made the call during a meeting of immigration and border management ministers in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Tunji-Ojo notes that the absence of an integrated database across the sub-region limits effective migration management and calls for a shared platform to harmonize visa, residency, and identity data. He also emphasizes the need to prioritize border funding based on the specific realities of each security and economic implications. The minister calls for stronger collaboration among ECOWAS states, warning that weaknesses in one country can impact others across the region. He adds that improved data sharing and coordinated policies will enhance border security and support regional integration. This is the news at 7 on Nta Ijebu Ode. We'll be going on a short break now. Please stay tuned.
Nta Ijebu Ode, your heritage station.
Nigeria Television Authority, Nta Ijebu Ode Heritage Station. A station that updates you on latest information, news, people day-to-day activities. We promote Nigeria culture. We bring to you educative programs and talk shows for young and old. We give you latest updates from the world of sports. We also bring to you updates from the entertainment world. We are the best among the rest. We are available on StarTimes Channel 103 and UHF 63.
Nta Ijebu Ode, your heritage station.
Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. The federal government is wrapping up efforts to strengthen Nigeria's livestock sector. At the Veterinary Services Workshop to validate the roadmap, stakeholders aligned on a strategic framework to boost animal health, food security, and public safety nationwide, developed by the Office of the Chief Veterinary Officers of Nigeria and Partners. Yusuf Jika has details.
Strong animal health regulation supports food security and economic growth, while healthier livestock translates into increased production of beef, milk, hide and skins for both domestic consumption and export. This informed this gathering to validate the first National Veterinary Services Roadmap, anchored on a clear forward-looking vision to build a modern, resilient, and globally compliant system that supports livestock productivity, protects public health, and facilitates safe trade in animal and animal products.
One of the major challenges of livestock production in this country is the preponderance of diseases. And it is one of the major limitations to international trade. So once you have this document, they were able to implement very holistically. It's going to attract more investment to the sector.
We are looking at priority diseases with the sole aim at the end of the day to help Nigeria achieve herd immunity.
Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, says Nigeria's veterinary space must scale up disease surveillance, early warning systems, diagnostic capacity, and rapid response mechanisms to better prevent and control animal diseases, including zoonosis.
The roadmap is supported by a robust monitor evaluation framework, complete with measurable targets, timelines, and accountability mechanisms. We are determined to ensure that this document is implemented into tangible improvements in animal health, food security, food safety, and livelihoods across the country.
The National Roadmap on Veterinary Services aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and National Livestock Growth Acceleration Strategy, NLGAS, for food security and safety. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Inadequate training and poor understanding of driving regulations remain significant contributor to road traffic crashes in the country. Hence, the need for proper regulation of the driving schools in the country to ensure road safety and sanity. The Call Marshal Shehu Mohammed said this at the 2026 National Workshop for Driving School Proprietors and Instructors. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
Road traffic crashes remain a growing concern, with attention now shifting to how drivers are trained before they get behind the wheels. For the Federal Road Safety Corps, improving driver education is seen as a key step in reducing crashes and saving lives. At this workshop, driving school proprietors and instructors are engaging directly with the Corps, a chance to review standards and strengthen training methods. They say proper driver education does not only improve safety on the roads, but also supports broader economic activities.
Driving school proprietors and instructors play a vital role as custodians of road discipline and partners in national development. The quality of your training directly impacts the safety of millions of road users.
That effective driver education is not only about licensing, it is directly linked to national productivity, economic growth, and internal security.
Together, we can build a road transport system where safety, professionalism, discipline, and responsibility become the defining characteristic of driver behavior in our country.
About 250 participants are taking part in the training under the Driving School Standardization Program. The workshop is with the theme, Professional Driver Education through Innovative Training Models, aimed at raising standards and promoting safer road use across the country. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The Bible in one hand, technology in the other. How artificial intelligence is reshaping evangelism, church administration, and soul winning in a digital age was the main thrust of a lecture delivered by Reverend Samson Ajetomobi at the 23rd Annual Abiding Ministers Conference in Ijebu Ode. The Abiding Grace Conference, the 23rd edition, has a theme, Ancient Mandates, Modern Tools, the Use of Artificial Intelligence. Ayomide Ogunkanbi witnessed the conference held at the Abiding Grace Chapel, opposite Epic School in Rewon, Ijebu Ode, and gives more reports. Details will come your way in a subsequent bulletin. And that concludes the news for tonight on Nta Ijebu Ode. I am Ifeoluwa Shalu. Thank you for watching. Good night.